Okay, we're here for a special meeting of the City Council. It's 3 o'clock on December 4th, and we'll start our special meeting with a roll call, please.
Commissioner Patton is absent today. Commissioner Barwick?
Here.
Commissioner Webb?
Here.
Commissioner Steckland?
Here.
Mayor Absher?
Here. If you'd all stand and join with me in the Pledge of Allegiance. We're working on it. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You're laughing about the eagle?
It's the only time I ever look up and see it. Yeah, it's just gone.
I'll take it down. Okay, item number 3 is public comments and audience to visitors other than Cody and Kim, who's recording. I don't see anyone here, so we'll move on to new business. And item A, economic development and municipal planning. Item 1 and 2 are related to each other, and I'll ask Cody, the Chief Staff and Star Bond Administrator, to run through what this is, why it's needed, and so forth. So, Cody.
Okay, so the resolution is to set the date and time for a public hearing to consider some changes, mainly or exclusively property related, taking some property out of the existing Star Bond District and adding some property to the Star Bond District. This Illinois Department of Revenue recognizes this as a local decision, something that the council can do without the state's consent, as long as it's a de minimis amount of land. Given we're taking out almost verbatim what we're putting back in other areas, again, this decision can just be handled locally with the City Council. So the public hearing will be on Wednesday, December 27th at 4 p.m. ahead of our second regular meeting of the month of December, which will be at later on that evening at 5:30 p.m. You'll see in your packet the land that I was referring to, roughly 39.7 acres are to be removed from the district that exists on the east side of the interstate. And at this time, we're only adding 16.7 acres in. So again, because we're taking out more than we're adding, it meets that definition of de minimis. And so, again, that decision can be handled locally. That's the only change at this point. And then the second item, do you want to consider the first before I speak to the second?
No, go ahead.
Okay. On the second item, it's ordinance 3927, which authorizes the city to enter into a professional services agreement with Jacob & Klein. Again, the need for this is because there is some legal work that needs to be done in order to enact these changes. The resolution that I spoke of, changing the district, will have to get recorded as well at the county clerk's office, and a copy sent to the Illinois Department of Revenue as well. So this agreement with Jacob & Klein is simply to prepare those legal documents necessary for these changes.
I guess that may be a question more for the public hearing part, but I just want to point out that the legislation, this is kind of a unique situation because the legislation is very specific that we have to go through these hearing processes. But it also says that we shall, at the request of the master developer, add land that's adjacent to other parcels that they own into the Star Bond District. So there's a shall in there, and then you have to have a public hearing. But I think the public hearing is predominantly if you were adding land that didn't belong to them, so that people could have a chance to speak to how that might impact them. In this case, I believe all the land involved is owned by them or controlled by the master developer. So it's kind of overkill in some sense, but we're trying to obviously comply with the state statute. So, okay. Anybody want to read item 1 there? And then we can ask more questions. Or
Yes, I'd make a motion to adopt a resolution 23-19 to establish the time, date, and place for a public hearing to consider the Fourth Amendment to the Marion Star Bond District.
I would second that.
And again, Cody, the time, date, and since it's not in the motion, in place one more time for clarity.
Wednesday, December 27th at 4 p.m. right here in the City Council chambers.
Immediately before our 5:30 council
Yeah,
meeting?
I should note, because of the Christmas holiday, that will be observed by the city on Monday, the 25th, and Tuesday, the 26th. Our regular meeting would be pushed back to Wednesday that week, the 27th. So
Okay.
we have a regular city council meeting on the 27th at 5:30. At 4 p.m. ahead of that meeting is when the public hearing to consider these plan changes would take place.
Okay, so that's what this motion is, just to set the hearing. Any other questions or comments on that? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Barwick,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Stecklin,
Yay.
Mayor Absher.
Yay. As Cody said, there are certain things in this process that we have to hire out to Jacobs. Well, we don't have to hire Jacobs and Klein, but that is our go-to on this, and that's what this ordinance 3927 is, a professional services agreement with them. That'd be my motion to approve ordinance 3927, executing a professional service agreement with Jacob and Klein and the Economic Development Group for the Fourth Amendment to the Marion Star Bond District.
I would second that.
Any questions on this? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Barwick,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Stecklin,
Yay.
Mayor Absher.
Yay. Okay, item B1 is a little bit of a formality. I had asked last week Cody to reach out to you guys and discuss this. We kind of had an emerging situation with a failing vehicle, and I had to make a judgment call on that, and we found one after we found one, lost it, and found another acceptable one to replace it. What's not in this, and I will tell you, although we did not take bids per se, I scoured this model all over the place, and these were the lowest cost ones available in the market, particularly as it pertained to how many miles were on them. What I was not satisfied with was the trade-in value, even though ours was close to junk status. They were giving us $1,100 for it in trade-in, and I still thought that was awfully low. So I want to disclose, I had my folks shop that with different wholesalers, and they found one in Kentucky, and we sold that today for $3,000 to a wholesaler out of Kentucky. So our net out of that will obviously come down $3,000 because of that, but I just wanted, it was kind of a screwy deal, but I just was not satisfied with that trade-in value and thought we could do better, and we did. So we might do that a little bit more in the future. Shop the trade-in around just a little bit that way.
What is the mileage on this one? Do we know?
This one is 36,000. Yeah. The first one we found had 16,000. It was a couple $1,000s more, but that would have been our preference. But it sold before we could commit to it. That's the clumsiness of our process here. We just can't do that. But it was time. It had about at least $3,500 of parts alone it needed to continue to operate, and it just wasn't worth spending any more money on. So nonetheless, we need to formally approve that purchase, and that'll be my motion to approve the purchase of the 2020 Ford Escape from Marion Subaru for $21,604, and also subsequent to that, which not listed here, but the sale of the 2010 Jeep Grand Cherokee with 109,000 miles for $3,000.
I'd second that.
Questions on that? Okay, sorry for the clumsiness of that and having to call and everything. It was just on its last legs. There wasn't any good choices to make there. So roll call, please.
Commissioner Barwick,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Stecklin,
Yay.
Mayor Absher.
Yay. Item number 4, anything under miscellaneous to come before the council in our special meeting? Any need for a closed or executive session? Okay, seeing no need or other items to discuss, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'd make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Barwick,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Stecklin,
Yay.
Mayor Absher.
Yay. Gentlemen, thank you for having the meeting.